Alright, another box. Big box. Not too much weight. Not too much. Maybe one head in there. Hope it's got more than one head in there. Let's see, where'd this come out of? Wisconsin. Oh, these are genuine Harley parts. They're from Wisconsin. You know that cheap crap from Tennessee. This is good stuff. Alright, let's see what we got here. Good packaging. Must be a bunch of miscellaneous junk. This is a bike stripper. I hate bike strippers. Now, in case you don't know what a bike stripper is, that's a guy that takes a nice, good bike, he strips it all the way down and sells every part by itself. Terrible people. I can't stand people to do that. But that's how you get some parts too. So. I'd rather have it stay as a whole bike. Okay, this looks like some kind of a cable in here or something. I'm not sure. It's nice getting dull again already. Cutting too much plastic. It's getting dull. Give it a refreshing sharpening. Oh, what a difference. Okay, what did we buy? Oh, this is a brake line for a panhead. Rear brake line. Those cables in the front. Okay, so this is the crossover tube for the front. The brake T. The brake switch. And the wiring, the original cloth wiring for it. So there you go. So this is the piece here that goes across the frame right over here. This goes underneath the frame, goes across like that, goes underneath the rear brake backing plate over there, and the mouse cylinder goes right in here. And see how tight these bins are without breaking them, especially this one. This is what genuine lines look like. The aftermarket does not make them like this. You can only get this stuff like this by buying the real deal. And this has a nice, really fine T. See how it's all rounded cut. It's not just a big, bulky, square piece of crap like the new ones are. And the tabs are really nice and tight on there, not loose like the aftermarket. Even the brake switch, look how small this thing is. It's way smaller than a normal brake switch. So you can tell this stuff's all genuine here. It's nice stuff. So I like stuff like this. So this is going to be your 58 through 70. How many years I run this thing up through? Probably all the generator bikes. So through 69 anyway. 70 is probably a little different, but probably similar. But anyway, this is the setup for that. So this will definitely get you through all the 10 primary bikes. Not sure if they did something different on aluminum primary, which is 65, but for sure 58 through 64 is identical, and probably all the way through 69, I bet. So anyway, that's a nice part. I like this one. There's no corrosion on this either, which is nice. That means it was really an oil gushing bike. When things are an oil gusher on a Harley, it protects things. So people don't like oil gushing bikes. I do, because stuff stays clean. No rust. It's nice and dirty from the oil, but it's clean for rust. I can clean oil off. Rust sucks to clean off. So there you go. That's a nice, nice part. I like that. Good part. So what else we got? I don't know what that is yet. Oh, it looks like a brake bracket. Brake backing plate. Hard to tell stuff through plastic. There you go. Brake backing plate. Genuine. Got the original piece, the pivot in there. See, it's all nice riveted in, nice and tight. It's not bent. Very, very little rust. Came with the bolt, original bolt also, nice. Still got the original nut over here. See, it's a real thin nut. That's a nice piece. And what's nice about genuine Harley parts is they're heat treated, so they're a lot stronger than aftermarket. Aftermarket stuff, they stamp it out of junk. There's no heat treat to it, so it just bends real easy. This stuff here is like a spring. It pops back. If you bend it, it comes back. It takes a lot to bend it, and it doesn't rust as much either. Yeah, this one has a slight bend. I think it was just a very slight bend. So probably the crash bar probably got hit. So yeah, it's got a little bit in there. I put that in my hydraulic press and I just hold it right here and just tap that down a little bit, get it where it's flat, and it brings it right back. Yeah, you can see how it's bent now. So it's just a matter of doing a little friendly persuasion. I've got a friendly persuasion tool over here. Oop, hey, give my camera back. You tighten this thing up. Now that knob right there does that. So there's my friendly little persuading tool. This one right here. This is the best tool in the world right here. 20-pound lead hammer. There. So you need to have a good press, good set of strong blocks. Nice flat block shows you what flat is and what's not flat. See, that's the bend that's in it, see? Okay, now to get the bend out, we need to hold it in a flat area, as much area as we can get. You need to figure out where it's bent at. The mounting, these are two mounting bolts right here where it mounted the frame. So this is where it's going to bend. It's going to be held right here. So that's where you need to straighten it. And most of the time it bends right through the middle of these things, or it'll bend between the crash bar and here. That's where they buckle over. So we need to figure out a way of holding this thing. Something like right here, at the angle the frame's at. Get some kind of a flat block, then sit right in there like that. And you press on it. So nice, we'll use this one. Now if you don't want to put a sharp edge across here, you can also put a piece of metal that has a radius on it. See like this has a little bit of a radius on it right now. You can find a soft one where it's, it's where they stamped it. Put that underneath that, and that'll give it a more of an even bend area on it. Like that. Space it up a little bit with something big. Put some tonnage on there. 15 tons. Now you want to hit it right here to kind of bring her down a little bit, so what it needs to get it kind of squared up. I'm not sure how much I need, so I'm just going to kind of lightly hit it. Take a look at it. Determine if if it's flat or not. Now it looks like I got a nice flat surface under here to go from. Where's it on this thing? So we take something flat like this bar right here and see how this is. So you get this little window of opportunity right here to check it with. Stick this up in here like this. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but there we go. So now I can see how much needs to be bent more. See, got something flat to go off of. So that's a good indicator there that it's still got some issues involved in that. You can also lay some stuff up across like this, but see, this is stamped material. It's not 100% even across this surface. This surface back here is what's supposed to be flat, which is this surface under here. Now what I don't know is how much I'm bending it right there on that sharp edge. So instead of just pulling it, instead of just hitting some more, I'm going to pull it out and take a look at it and see what I think it looks like, and determine if I like it or not. It only takes a couple seconds to put it back in there, so it's not like it's a big deal. But if you overbend it, you screw it up. So initially, just want to kind of look at it. So it's definitely bent up here in the front half. This is where I was holding it back here. See, that part's pretty flat now, see? So I don't know, if I keep hitting it, I would have been bending it where I didn't want to bend it. So obviously it's weak across where that hole is. And it's right where it's bent too, see? So now it looks like it's more bent straight down. So now I'm going to put a support across here the best I can, which means I'm going to put a big block right in here. So what do we got for a block? See something like this right here. Put that right there. And that's aluminum. It's got a hard edge, but it's aluminum, so it won't hurt things too much. Now we just put a press on that. This should be all right. Okay, I'll put my block in here if it'll fit. It does not fit. Okay, what else do we got to use? That's too big also. Yeah, I'm not seeing a piece that I can use. All I see is this piece here. Okay, we'll go ahead and use this. I'm going to put it right toward the edge of that so it'll bend right there I want to. Put it straight in line with how I want to bend it. Put underneath the press there. And put some tonnage on it. 15 is always a good number to use. So now I'm just going to hit it right here. Couple light taps. I'm not really sure how much I'm doing. Can't really feel anything, so I'm going to stop at that point. Pull it up. Take a look at it. If I don't like it, I'll bend it some more. Let's take our long straight edge here. See, now we're getting pretty flat. See, still got a little more in there, but not too bad. See, there's almost no rock at this angle here right across the bolt holes. Pretty flat. Going along the straight edge just like we did over here. Pretty flat, but see at the very tip up there, and you can see the light. See how it moves right there? So it's still bent right in here. It's still bent down slightly, see? But it's pretty close. Only got about 30 more thou to go. So that's why I didn't just wail on it. Gotta do it a little bit at a time. Make sure you're doing it right. Okay, I want to make sure I'm about in the same spot I was. I pulled back slightly further than I had it before. Back in there again. Some tonnage on it again. 15 tons. I saw it move a little bit. I always get a couple taps so that kind of ring and figure out where it wants to be. You gotta get new memory in there, so you gotta let it get used to being where it is. Okay, so now take our tool here. And it doesn't look like it did anything. Dang, it looks like it got worse. How did it get worse? Wrong straight edge. See, that's actually worse now. So what happened? Something happened. It obviously did not bend where I wanted it to. That's weird. So what happened? I saw it bend down when I hit it, and it got worse. But I don't see a low spot on here, so it didn't get worse there. But this is not as flat through here as it was either, so it's definitely made a change somewhere. Excuse me. Alright, that didn't, something different happened there. I'm not sure what happened. But it needs to be bent. I'm not sure. That's weird. Things don't always do what you think they're going to do. We're going to do the same thing again, and hopefully it doesn't get worse. I think I figured the concussion wave is bending it back up. I'm guessing. I don't know. So it has to get a new memory, which means you have to lose the old memory. Okay, got better again. Still a lot out there though. Pretty close there. A little bit out there. A little bit out there. So it's good right through here, and it's low on these two sides. So can't fix all of those problems. Okay, so right now, pretty flat. So it's still got a little bit in there. You can feel it, hear it. All right, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to pull back a little bit. I want to pull back a little bit because I want to bend across where the hole is. So I'm going to pull back a little bit like this. Not going to support it as good. Hopefully it'll bend it more how I want it to, but it might overdo it. So it's going to be easier to bend here because I don't have as much support. Go back and forth a little bit, see if I get a memory, what's going on. Kind of vibrate, see if it's happy where you're putting it. That's good there. A little bit still right there, but not too bad. I got a little bit right there. Really nice right there though. And over here, good and flat that way too. So I'm going to cross these two holes, feels good. Hole to hole here is really nice. When you go down it's a little off, and when you're right in that one spot in the middle it's a little off, but that's not too bad. So now I'm going to try to press this whole area. If I just move my block around up in here, whichever block I got will fit in here. Well, I got this one, I guess. Can't put the whole block in there, I can do it part at a time, so I'm going to try to basically just move it around as much as I can. I'm just going to flatten it a little bit, a little pressure on it. Okay, 10-ton. Pull it back a little bit, do it again. And 14 or so ton there. And then all the way down to here. Do 2 stages of this. Ton. And back as far as I can go this time that way. 14.5. Alright, let's see what we got this time. As straight as that. Nice and flat. Nice and flat. See, no noise on the bottom. Nice and flat there. A little bit right in there. Pretty good otherwise. So I got pretty flat now. Now let's put on the thing over here and check this. Nice and flat. And this block is the same height as that one, so if I put it underneath, in there, we can check other things. That we got a little bit of something going on right there. Trying to figure out what I'm hitting on here. Not seeing any high spots anywhere. Somewhere I'm picking up a little bit of unevenness. Doubt if that's anything I can get to. That's the back side here is a little different, I guess. I can't press on that though, there's no way of getting to it. We're good there. Let's see if we go this direction. What do we got here? I'm not seeing anything on this side here, so it's a little bit right in this area here, right in this area here. Maybe that's what I was picking up on. That's not a nutting area, it doesn't matter. Okay, I think it's pretty good the way it is. Nice and flat now. So it was bent, now it's not. You can see how much force it takes to bend it. That's, you know, wrapping a pretty good weight hammer on there. So anyway, that's how you do these things. Get them as close as you want to get. I like getting them pretty close. And this one here feels nice and good in here. It's round and not worn out feeling. That's a good sign. Sometimes I'll bush up the pedals and make these nice and tight. This stud feels really nice. I don't feel much wear on it at all. But anyway, now it needs to be blasted, cleaned up, and painted, and then we'll find a good brake lever to go on it and get a nice, good original setup. Alright, well, that's how you do it.